And we are back with the Low Post Podcast. Tyler Krusz and Brian Heston here, recapping Week 6 and the last 3 weeks of the season. We're getting towards the end, and things really still haven't opened up yet. It's really still close in the middle of the legacy leagues. But, Brian, I just want to congratulate you. You did something I could not do as a coach, and you guys beat the Boston Blazers. That was a very good game. It got close towards the end there. And I'm sure you guys are happy to have Dave back. I know Gino is. He was telling me after the game how much better he felt with him on the floor. You guys called him back in. So how'd that game work out for you guys? I mean, you guys were up early, and then if I'm not mistaken, it was like within 5 in the fourth.
Yep.
And then you guys came back and ended up sealing it by, I think it was like 12 or 17 or something around there.
We went by 12, yeah. But mostly what happened was we got out. We had a good first quarter, 14-7. Second quarter, we built on our lead, and then the third quarter, we really started out hot. Gino hit a few threes to start the third real quick, got us up by a lot. And then I took a quick break, and Dave kind of got a little bit lax. Gino wasn't really slowing the pace down enough, and then they kind of crept back into the game. Then I came back in. They still kept getting close, and then we just kind of figured it out once they got to like a 5-point game. Figured it out from there, and then as a team defense helped. Connor's been great for us defensively this year, and then Gino and Dave also played great defense down the stretch of that game too to help us win it.
Yeah, I would think this year so far, specifically the last 2 games, I think is the best I've seen Gino play.
Yeah, he's been
in the legacy leagues in all the sessions. Yeah, I think he had 26 last week and 21 this week against the Blazers. So just on fire, and you can tell that Dave helps. But what I noticed is they had a lot of momentum, in that fourth quarter, going in towards the end of the game. And then when you stepped up and hit a mid range, Gino hit a 3, and Dave. I think Dave had a steal around half court, and then he ended up hitting a dunk. But that was that was just overall a good way to close the game out from you guys. And now 2-4, right?
Yep, working our way
2-4 with probably
3 weeks to go.
I would say the easiest part of your schedule left.
Yeah, we got.
You guys have
the Crooks, the Blazers,
halfway.
Crooks, the Pizza Rolls, and the Bullworms left. So.
Yeah. So other than the Crooks, you guys have the 9 and 10 teams in the power rankings. So shouldn't be too hard of a closeout of the season for you guys. But we mentioned the Crooks.
3-0 to end it. That'd be good. End the season 5-4.
4 over 400, 500.
We're just gonna take week by week right now. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to go. Game by game, one at a time.
And one thing I want to mention too is that I'm glad Gino's been shooting well because I haven't really been scoring as efficiently as I usually do lately. So I had kind of a rough game, 12 points, but I felt like me and Connor did a great job defensively. See, we both each had 3 blocks and 2 steals. So
yeah, and even if you're not scoring the ball, there are always so many other things you can do on the basketball court, and the good players realize that, and some people don't. Some people take a couple threes, miss them, and just take themselves completely out of the game. But again, you mentioned Gino. The week before that, 10 for 26, 26 points, 5 threes, and that was without Dave. So he's been playing really well for you guys lately. So we'll move to I'd say the halfway Crooks and the Blazer and Boom Shakalaka had one.
Yeah, I just want to mention one more thing about the Blazers too. Corey Strickland, he's a great player. I think we did a good job limiting him to only 11 shots because if you let him get up 20 shots up, he's probably scoring 25 to 30 points. I think we did a good job forcing other guys to beat us, and it worked out for us too. So
it worked out well for you guys. I mean, only 11 shots from him is good. He had 13 or 14 points, I think, but what did he shoot? 5 for 11. It's all about limiting his looks. Like if you can. If he gets a good look off the ball, he's going to take the shot off the catch and shooter. He's going to be able to make something happen. But if you can play him,
a really good, like typical Werewolves kind of win for us. Not even scoring that many points, only scoring 59, but playing good defense and holding them to 47 is the way that we usually win games. So
they scored almost 80 points the week before. So to hold them to 47 is really good. And then
move on
the
to
second,
and Boom.
I'd say the second best game of that week was halfway and Boom. And Boom was really in control all of the first half. I mean, they were up by 8 at halftime, I think. Or it was 10. I kind of messed up.
Yeah, they were up 10.
I messed up doing the stats.
Yeah.
I forgot to press start on the third quarter.
Yeah, the Crooks, I'm not surprised they won it because with the way the first half went, they were getting a lot of quality looks from 3. they just weren't going down. And in the end, they only finished 11 for 42 from three. But if you look at that third quarter, they all came in at like the third quarter in the right time, and that's what really brought them back was that avalanche of threes from Kamish. Dylan hit two in the quarter, I know. And yeah.
And they were down double figures going into that quarter. They ended up winning that quarter by double figures, and they had the lead going into the fourth. But I just want to say this is probably, I mean, Joey talks about how he goes off in the Connecticut League sometimes. I've never seen it. I've only been down to Trumbull, Connecticut a couple times, and that's a story for another day. But I mean, 21 points, 7 for 14 from the field, 7 for 14 from three, and 12 rebounds. I mean, he looked like the best player on the court on both sides.
Yeah, he was in takeover mode. It was impressive because I never seen him play like that. But yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, he was usually a pass first guy. Like he'd get an open look from three, and he'd pass it around. The team would get a better look, or the team would get it down into Lincoln or Sline. But I mean, he was just taking them. I mean, I remember a play he had. I didn't even expect that. It snuck up on me. But he had a play where he had Lucas right up on him in the corner, and he didn't even think twice about not taking it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he drained it. So I shout out Kamish. We'll give him a little love. A lot of the times we're busting his chops on the podcast, but we'll give him some love. He played really well. I voted for him for Player of the Week, even though there are probably a couple other deserving players. But I told him, I said at the beginning of the game, Joe, if you score over 20 points and you're on that Player of the Week poll, I don't care what happens, you're getting voted for.
Oh yeah.
But what do you think Boom did? I mean, for halfway's a good team.
They held a huge lead. And like I said, it wasn't surprising that they blew it because of the quality of the looks that the Crooks were getting. But Boom was getting quality looks too from three. They just weren't falling. They're like 5 for 30 from three as a team. Lucas had 3 for 14. He's usually a better shooter than that. Belleville is usually better than 0 for 7 from three. So, I mean, like it's not a Boom. Definitely could have won this game. Like they're right there with halfway Crooks, especially if they had Cole Ferguson too. Then they probably even do win this game. Because he adds another layer of scoring to them, slashing ability, and probably limits some of the threes that they missed.
That the other guys take,
Yeah. So that being said, Boom's right there with halfway. They had a lead, and then unfortunately just couldn't hold on to it. But
yeah, this is probably one of the hottest
shooting
nights from three I've seen halfway, at least in the second half.
Yeah, like I said,
at least in the
it didn't happen throughout the course of the game. It happened all at once. Like out of those 11 made threes, probably 8 of them I'd say were in the third quarter that they kind of went.
It was like the Big Bang Theory. Like everything's just chilling in the solar system, and then all of a sudden, just some giant explosion goes off, and the world creates. And that's what it was. Everybody was just chilling in the first half, and then all of a sudden, Joey Zacco got hot from three, and then the rest of the Crooks got amped. I mean, they were pumped for him.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, it was surprising Hansen didn't have a great game at 5 points,
but he only shot 4 times.
Yeah, he had 5 rebounds and 7 assists to go along with it. So he, like other players, impact the game in other ways than just scoring. He's a great passer. And then on the Boom side, Jeremy D'Amico had a solid game, 20 rebounds and 16 points. That's pretty much what they get from him every week now. And it's very impressive.
And the thing is, it's kind of like the thing with, I mean, I'm going to talk about the Duyes boys here, but it's kind of like the thing with Kutu and us. I mean, he had, against the Blazers, our team had 30 rebounds. He had 21. I mean, D'Amico's really their only big guy. So he's going to be in there banging bodies on the boards all night and grabbing basically.
You want to segue into your game with that one?
Yeah, I mean, we won, and that felt really good. I mean, winning, I got to tell you, dude, I haven't played an organized sport in a while since baseball a couple of years ago, and I'm still not playing. I'm just coaching, but I forgot how unreal winning feels. Like it's just it's such a rush. It was awesome. But the Bullworms, I mean, Matt Barber played a great game. I mean, he was basically unstoppable.
He's definitely going to be someone to look out for. He's a recent pickup for the Bullworms, but he's definitely someone you have to watch out for. He took 23 shots, but he still is a threat every time he gets the ball to dunk it on you or make a play and find someone. He didn't really have any assists, but I mean, he was still finding other people and getting those hockey assists, as they call them. You know, the pass to
and he's got insanely quick hands on the dribble. Like he can get by you in a second. His crossover is nuts. It's crazy. And then his leaping ability is really good too. But like you said, no assists. I don't think that's anything on him. I think that's just the fact that when he had the ball, he knew it was he should have shot it. Like he was carrying the team, and
Yep.
everybody on his team knew that ball was either going to the hole or going up. I would have liked to see him more efficient from 3, 1 for 6, but that's probably just not his game. We hadn't seen him play yet.
Exactly.
But a very good game from him. And then Kutu just doing what he usually does with
I was very impressed with it. I thought he was gonna get 40 because he might have had like 20-ish with like 4 or 5 minutes left in the first half, and I was like, he might be going for 40 right now. But,
and then we went up by 20, and then had to get some other guys in.
Exactly, but Kutu, great game. I also want to shout out Jordan Lugo, 3 for 7 from 3. He had 2. He had a couple huge threes. He's really finding his shot now.
Besides Kutu in that Boston Blazers game, Lugo was really one of the main reasons we were able to crawl back and bring it within single digits and tie it in the second half. Because I mean, it's his second week in a row with 19 points. He had 5 threes last week, 3 this week. So he's kind of finding a shot. I remember that game against you guys; he was forcing it a lot.
And then the other guy
he's been
mentioned too, Aaron Avant. I thought he did a great job on the rebounds. I know he was getting hyped every time he grabbed a rebound, but he actually did do an impressive job ripping them down. He had 9 of them, and then 3 assists.
Yeah, and he was boxing out pretty well because those guys were just like everyone else we're going to play except for the Pizza Rolls. Those guys were probably a little bit bigger than us. And Aaron last week, there were a lot of rebounds where guys kind of went right into the paint through him and were able to get the rebound on the offensive side. So I'd tell him, like, Aaron, you got to put a body on someone. So every time he did that, he'd look at me and be like, rebound.
Yeah.
So he was all pumped. But yeah, I thought it was I thought they played really well as a team, the Duyes boys.
Yeah, exactly.
And just centered around Kutu. If you can get more guys scoring like Lugo, I know Avant can score. Malisi can shoot the ball really well when he gets his open looks. So and then when they're hot, they're dangerous. It's going to be a fun game against Boom next week. I say fun because I don't know what to expect, but Boom's attendance is kind of weird. You never know who's going to be there for them. So I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, just a tough schedule ahead. You got Boom, Swish, and then Skyhookers.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough stretch. But I mean, if you can get 1 out of 2, you shake things up in the middle. If you get 2 of those wins, then you're definitely in the thick of it come playoff time.
Yeah. And I don't think it's a stretch to say we can win 2 of those games.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it'd be a stretch to say that we're guaranteed.
He's going to have to keep playing like he's playing. And you're going to need other guys to step up like they have been doing, but just against better teams that are going to be able to play better defense. So it's how can your team adjust and figure out ways to score than
just.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So I think you guys will be good. But you're going to be competitive. And that's the main thing right now that I've seen from the Doogie boys from the first week to now is that they've been a lot more competitive in these games than they were at the beginning. Yeah,
that's really, you want to give yourself a chance to win and do the best job you can to be in the game when it comes down to the final minutes. Because when you have a player like Kutu, all you really need is to be in the game in those final minutes, and you got it. So I'm looking forward to that Boom game next week.
Yeah.
The rest of the games this week were pretty much blowouts. So you have Lob City and Skyhookers, 90-47. Granted, the Skyhookers were missing Chase Almond.
Yep.
And he's probably their best big, if not one of the better bigs in the league. And just an off game from O'Donnell, too. A really off game from them.
Yep. O'Donnell only having 5 points. You're not going to win. Even with Almond, they're not going to win many games with that happening.
And it looked like Cody recovered from that burn on his hand.
Yeah, Cody seemed to finally find his rhythm a little bit. I mean, he only shot 4 for 15 from 3. And Justin Tabas is 2 for 11. Those are 2 primary shooters, going 6 for 26 from 3 combined. So, I mean, it was interesting. I feel like Lob's been a little bit off from 3 since the break.
From 3 this year, yeah, but they've still been able to do it other ways. I mean, Cody was driving to the lane. Josh Smith can dunk on probably almost anybody in the league. Same with Victor and Coro. So just when the ball's moving and when they're running, I mean, they forced 11 turnovers and they had 17 assists.
And they didn't have Greg Holt either, so they would have had probably 25 assists if he was there.
I mean, I would add you'd add 8 to 10 more from Greg.
Yeah,
he's just a crazy passer. But 5 guys in double figures, 4 Lob, 1 for the Skyhookers. It looks like, I didn't see the game, but it looks like they just ran all over the place. That's what I heard.
I mean, if you're the Skyhookers, you got to slow it down a little bit against Lob. I mean, they took 78 shots as a team and only hit 18, so like you can't really you're not going to win a lot of games missing 60 shots and trying to keep up with the pace with a team like Lob. And it looked like Lob had him from the beginning. It was 11. They only scored. Skyhookers only had 11 points in the first quarter, or in the first half, that is. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. Really slow start for Skyhookers, and it really, and then Lob, when they get up like that, they just kind of focus on offense. And they're a defensive team too. I mean, you see it. They play unreal defense until they start blowing their opponent out, and then it's like, all right, let's put up some dunks. That's what we paid for.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of dunks, we basically had a dunk show with Greg Bell and the Swish Kebabs. I didn't see this one either. I heard there was a little bit of cherry picking going on, but nonetheless,
but 60
144 points. 44 points in the third quarter, 43 points in the second quarter. It's insane. I mean, he shot 93%, Greg Bell, that is.
Yep.
And Barbosa probably had the wildest triple-double I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's probably that record is going to be there for a while for Tyler Barbosa.
I can see the 60 points being broken.
Yeah,
but that stat line will not be beaten.
30 assists.
I mean, just dominant performance all around by Swish. I mean, they shot 70% as a team. They've only forced 10 turnovers, but still. They had 49 assists as a team.
50 rebounds.
And they had 50 rebounds. They almost doubled the Pizza Rolls rebounds. You look at the Pizza Rolls, though, and they had their best offensive night. I mean, that's just a factor of the speed of the game. But Rocco Lombardi, 30 points. Anthony Barone, 21 points. And that's just a heck of a game. I mean, Rocco was shooting – I think in the middle of the game, he hit like 8 threes in a row. I mean, not 8. That's an exaggeration. But he had a string of threes
in a row. He seemed like he was finding his rhythm. But yeah, he had 30 points. That's an impressive performance from him, and he's definitely, in my opinion, their best player. He's a scorer at least, and a solid defender too. So
he's a versatile scorer. Like he can take it into the hole. He's got long arms. He's a tall kid. He can shoot. So he's kind of a gifted athlete on the basketball court, on the Legacy League's court. So it's no surprise that he put up 30 in a fast-paced game like that, but it's also no surprise that this game was this ugly, in my opinion.
What's amazing is that the Pizza Roll shot 61 3-pointers. I think that might be a record for threes attempted in a game. I don't think
you got to throw back on some of those old Lob City teams though, because they shot a lot.
But 61 in a game, that's like insane.
And only shooting 23%. I mean, at some point you got to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Just you had 3 guys shoot over double-digit threes.
Yeah.
Like 3-point attempts. Yep. So they were between Rocco, Anthony Barone, and Zach Denizio, they were 12 for 32 from deep. That's 3 players. That's like a whole team.
Yeah.
Right there. That's crazy. But yeah, just a dominant performance by Swish Kebabs. I don't think they're going to get that dominant of a victory again this year.
Yeah, it's hard to win 2 games by 65 points in the same season. So yeah,
especially next week when they go up against Lob City. I think that's going to be a really good game next week. Especially now that Randy's
let's talk about next week's games.
Yeah. Especially now that Randy's back, I think.
Yep.
I think Swish matches up pretty good with Lob.
Yeah, they do.
Kind of the same way Halfway did. Yep. But I do think that when it comes down to it, Lob will be able to take this one just because of their size, because the ability of Vic, of Joey Bones, of Cody, of Greg when he gets back. Those core 4, I think, could beat any starting lineup in the league. And I'm not roasting Swish saying that. I just think those 4 are unreal.
Well, since you're picking Lob, I'll pick Swish. I think this game is going to be closer than you might be giving it, but I think I'll pick Swish in this game. I think it's gonna come down to the fourth quarter, 5 minutes to go, and we're gonna be in a 2 or 3 point game, and someone's gonna have to get clutch. And
you remember, Swish Kebabs beat Green Squad.
Yeah, they were the first team ever to beat them.
Vic did get thrown out of that game, but Swish Kebabs beat Green Squad.
Yeah.
So that's that. Then you have Halfway and Sky at the beginning. That's going to be good just because both of those teams are big. Yeah. Sky got kind of embarrassed last week.
Yeah, I'm taking the Halfway Crooks.
I'm going to take Halfway.
Yeah. I think Brett Cody kind of finds his rhythm again. He wasn't there over the break. So he was last week was his first game back in like over a month. So I think he gets back into his rhythm. Probably puts up like 15 to 20 points. I think the Crooks take this one by like 10.
Yeah, I think the Crooks take this one too, but I do think an interesting matchup to watch is going to be Chase Almond and Dylan Lincoln John Slime.
Mm-hmm.
I think whoever wins that matchup has a really good shot at winning the game. So I think it's going to come down to the bigs. And then you have the Duyes boys and Boom Shakalaka. I am not going to comment on who wins this game.
Yep.
But I think if Lucas can find his rhythm and Cole is there and Jeremy is also there, it'll be very hard for us to defend all three of those guys because Cole's taller than most of our players. Jeremy's taller than all of our players.
Kutu on Cole, and probably Lugo on
Lucas.
Yeah, and then
I was going to throw
leaves D'Amico.
Yeah, that's the problem. I could throw Kutu on D'Amico just because he's bigger, or I could throw one of our kind of bigs in and try to have them just move D'Amico out of the lane.
Mm-hmm. All you got to do after all that, you got to find someone to put on Belleville too. So it's going to be a tough match.
I mean, you put him on Belleville. I think it'll be. We have to run man. We usually run zone, but we have to run man, and it all comes down to defense.
Boom can shoot, so you can't really play zone against them too much.
They'll shoot right over the zone, or they'll just move it right around the zone. I'm not a big fan of the zone, but they like playing it because they know each other. They can communicate well. So
I think
it's interesting, and that should be interesting.
We've actually adopted the zone over the past few games. I think it has kind of benefited us.
It helps when you're undersized.
Yeah, I think it's benefited Connor the most. I think he plays it really well, and he's a good rim protector. So he's not playing guys on the three-point line anymore. He's playing in the paint, and he's blocking guys. So I think that's one reason to stick with the zone. We might stick with it. I don't know. We haven't really decided yet. We're playing the Bullworms this week. So I think zone or man, I think we'll be fine defensively, but we might go into zone just to kind of get rebounds and then push the pace a little bit faster.
I think if you man, you have a better shot at stopping Barber. And then that's really one of the only guys you kind of need to worry about. I mean, you can let the other guys beat you. That would be my game plan going in, is if the other guys beat us, so be it. Stop Barber. And then Pizza Rolls, Blazers. Rocco could have a game, but I think the Blazers just have more depth.
Yeah, the Blazers definitely have the size and the depth to win this one. But, I mean, I think the Pizza Rolls are looking at probably their best opportunity down the end of the season to get a win. They play Blazers, Lob, and the Werewolves. So, I mean, I think it's their best opportunities are against the Blazers or us.
And now that you guys have Dave back, I think it would be the Blazers.
Yeah, and that's not to discredit the Blazers, but I think the Blazers win this one probably by 10 or 15 or even more. I mean, people forget when they played the Bullworms earlier this season, they won by like 60. So I think they could put up that 99 again. Yeah, I think that could be how this one goes. I think Corey Strickland probably goes for 25 to 30. And I think he carries them.
I think they dominate through their size.
Yeah, so the Pizza Rolls can't match up with that size. So I think the Blazers do dominate this one, in my opinion.
So we will check back next week to see if our picks were right, and when we do, there will be only 2 games remaining in the Legacy Leagues before playoff. So keep it locked on thelegacyleagues.com. This is going to get exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Tyler Krusz, Brian Heston. This was the Low Post Podcast. We will see you guys on Wednesday.